Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday the 4th of January. So looking at the euro dollar first, and well, yesterday from a daily perspective we put in this daily pivot swing, these three bars here, just a daily pivot swing. Today at the moment we haven't triggered the short side of that, but it is a weak signal into those prior highs, or pretty close into those prior highs. But keeping an open mind at the moment. Obviously the trend here that we're seeing is still broadly up, and there's nothing really stopping us running up back towards yesterday's highs and maybe beyond. But I do wonder with the Fed report out yesterday, which was suggesting sort of mildly bullish still with jobs, etc. And interest rate increases expected, whether we'll see a continuation. However, we'll see how the day runs out. For now, just looking at the shorter time frames here, 4 hourly, well, it's say still looking pretty bullish. It's still above its 4 hourly 21 there. Could be pushing up further. If it breaks through the hourly 50, well, R1, as I said, yesterday's highs look like a reasonable possibility, and maybe further more. It's already above its daily pivot at the moment, so at the moment looking relatively bullish. Looking at cable. Well, cable put a bearish engulfing in yesterday, so another bearish sort of signal from a daily candle perspective. We have got the daily pivot and the weekly and monthly pivots sitting underneath. Actually, in the euros, the same basis there. Really, if you come back to euro, that's one other thing I was looking at. There is, if you just get there, we go. We've got the weekly and monthly pivots sitting underneath, which again with this pound, we've got that. It does make me wonder if at some point it'll see a rollover, but we're already into Thursday, so we'll see. But shorter term time frames here at the moment, well, this looks bear flaggish on this 4 hourly to me at the moment in this move, although as I said, the trend is still overall bullish, and it has got its daily pivot above, which might be a move this morning. Is sitting not that far, only about 13 pips away from that at the moment, so that's a possibility. It'd be interesting to see how it reacts to that. Now we have got some key data coming out this morning for the pound there. We've got services PMI coming out at 9:30, which may create some volatility, and also the net lending to individuals, which gives an idea of whether money's the growth is being built up on borrowing, or whether it's being built up on earnings. It's most likely going to be borrowing, I would imagine, which is expected to have grown further, the net lending. Okay, so that's where we are with the pound at the moment. Look, as I said, we've got potential to run into that daily pivot. If it does and then starts breaking down, this trend line here could be a key point, and we could see it break to the lower side there with yesterday's lows as a target, and as I said, the weekly and monthly pivots below, so there's the possibility of that continuing in that route. Dollar yen. Dollar yen's it's much more range bound pairing. It was sort of put a little bullish harami in yesterday. It's pushed up at the moment, but looks like it's it's just about to put a bearish pivot swing in here, which would suggest further downside, but quite mixed in terms of looking through the time frames. It does still have the untouched daily pivot below, which could well be hit. Beyond that, well, it then runs into further support into the 34. 50 is a bit flat, so it may just break through that. But if it starts breaking down, as I say, they're the sort of targets to be looking for. It has got a bit of a rising trend line coming through the lows here, which it may come into at some point and find support. If it breaks that, well, then it becomes, as I said, more bearish. Aussie dollar, this remains the bullish pairing here against the US dollar. It held up a little bit better yesterday than the other pairings against the dollar. It's pushed up at the moment quite solidly, breaking yesterday's highs already, but the ranges are tight. Again, it's got the weekly, monthly pivots below. Any reversals, they would potentially become targets. Short term, well, it's still looking relatively, as I say, relatively bullish here. The only thing is, like what we've seen recently, is it just tends to get into a bit of a holding pattern there. And well, it did break off later in the evening yesterday, but it may well have done its main move for the day and could just end up sitting consolidating there. Canadian dollar. Well, Canadian dollar, it's in this sort of bearish run at the moment. It's struggling to push back up towards the weekly, monthly pivots there. And if anything, looks like it could continue to the downside as well. It's 4-hourly perspective. It's putting again pivot swing sort of sitting there. It's looking like the S1 could be a potential. Daily S1 could well be a potential there, maybe more to the downside. So other news coming out today. Then we got the ADP non-farm payrolls at 1:15, which could give some volatility around that time. Aside of that, really, crude oil inventories may give oil a bit of a kicker and the Canadian dollar a bit of a kicker around 4 p.m. They're due out today. So nothing much else there for today. So have a good one. Bye for now.